if you are an older person today, or you are older, and you have been thinking that the younger generation of today are lazier than your generation, this is something that you have to remember. Back then, you guys had a healthier life. You ate healthy food, grown naturally, no chemicals. The meat you ate, the tilapias were not injected to grow in a day or in a week. The chicken were not frozen for 20 years or injected to grow in a day or a week. The pork that you ate was healthy, naturally grown. And yes, the life you lived was not chemicalized. Okay, the air was fresher than today. You have to consider that. The young generation, we are not as lazy as you think. It's just that we don't have a strong immune system like you. You were lucky, you were born from the healthier generation. And yes, a human is created as a survivor. And the things you didn't have, like technology, you didn't have to depend on it. You depended on yourself. And I believe that if we also did not have the technology of today, we will actually survive. We wouldn't die. But because we were born in the time that it exists, that's why we depend on it. That does not mean that we are less clever or you are smarter than us. It's just the generation. You have to understand, you know. People of older days, they're from older generation, you guys bear the pain because a human is meant to survive, you know. Yeah, you're human, you have to survive. I mean, if we were born where things of today don't exist, we would not depend on them. In fact, for me, instead of feeling hell about or feeling bad that you think we are lazy than you were, I hear some statement, when I was your age, I would so and so, I couldn't sleep for this long. Yeah, when you were my age, in your generation, when you are her age, in your generation, you couldn't catch depression in your generation, because young people today are catching now depression, and we sit down, we are like, what could depress you? Yeah, even the stress of the thinking of things people have been through can stress someone. Even these intake things we are taking in can speed our heart, deal with anxieties. We need to calm down because we've taken things that are speeding our heart. And yes, it is the life we live today that make us how we are. We should rather blame you for allowing this, you know, to exist, because it happened in your existence, and you allow it to happen, and you blame us for being lazy, for wanting to sleep 8 hours, for growing too fat too quickly, for having these diseases that we don't know how we, how are we getting these headaches that don't go away, and you didn't have them? You have to be blamed for this, and stop making us feel like we are lazy and your generation was stronger, tougher, more serious.